Hello and welcome back to the Chelsea Fans Channel. Now, I'm so sorry that it's been so long since our last video. All sorts of things have been up in the air since then, but we're trying to get the channel back on track, so please bear with me while we do that. Loads of things have happened since we last did a video. My very good friend and your very good friend, Rory Jennings, got himself hitched, as you can see here. Brexit is happening and Chelsea is still winning games and we're still top of the league. Now, as ever, this is your channel, so going forward, I'm totally open to suggestions in terms of the direction we take it. No topic is off subject. We can look back through the history book, whether it's Chelsea's greatest comebacks, Chelsea's greatest cult heroes, or Chelsea's greatest controversies. Let me know in the comments below what sort of topics you think we should be covering, and we'll go ahead and cover them. But because we've got a massive match kicking off in about 2 hours from now, I thought we may as well talk about the big Man City game happening tonight and my top 5 things to look out for in this fixture. So the first thing to look out for in tonight's crunch game is David Luiz versus Sergio Aguero, part 3, or round 3, should we say. Now, Aguero, as we know, is without a doubt City's danger man. All the good things that they do seem to, if not go through him, then result with him, and generally resulting in him scoring a goal. The last couple of games that him and Luiz have played against each other, there's been some little niggles going on. It started with a 2-footed tackle that Aguero put in, I think back in 2014. Then the last time we played City, in December, when that brawl kicked off, that was all again started by a studs-up challenge from Aguero onto Luiz. And both times, because he's such a lovely guy, Luiz has come out and forgiven Aguero, said, he was frustrated, or it's a moment of madness, and he holds no grudges. So I'd like to see that nice side of him just sort of peter down a little bit. And today, early doors, first 5 minutes, boom, let Aguero know he's in a game, as our old Sunday League managers used to say. So the next thing to look out for is Pedro at wing-back. Now, I think we've all been really, really pleased with Pedro's performances this season. He's fulfilling that promise that we all knew he had, the promise that he used to show week in, week out at Barcelona. And finally, we're seeing it for real in a blue shirt. Sticking him at right back, though, or right wing back, leaves me a little bit trepidatious. Going forward this season, he's been fantastic. I think he scored 7 goals and he's got 7 assists. But putting him in a defensive role tonight against the likes of Sane could cause us some problems. So I think if there's anything that we should be slightly, nervous about tonight going into the game, it's having Pedro in that defensive position. But hopefully we'll be on the attack more often than not, and hopefully he'll be in their half a lot more than he'll be in his own. So the third thing to look out for tonight is who we're going to play alongside N'Golo Kante. Now, I think we'll all agree it's been an absolute pleasure watching Kante play this season in the number 7 shirt for Chelsea. He's been an absolute pocket rocket, and for me, probably the best player in the Premier League out of all the teams. So the question that, Antonio and his staff are facing tonight is who they're going to play alongside him. Now, so far this season, Matic seems to be the preferred partner, and I think Matic just looked really solid. His form has been back to it was in his first season back with the club when we won the league under Jose. And then there's Fabregas. Fabregas has been knocking on the door himself with a couple of really great performances, and he's got that ability, hasn't he, to unlock a defence, to thread that killer pass through when no one else can. So Conte's going to have a little bit of a headache tonight in terms of selection. I think he'll go with Matic just to nullify the threat of people like Kevin De Bruyne or David Silva. They're more creative players. So I can see him going with Kante and Matic tonight. But it'd be interesting to see, whether Fabregas gets a look or whether he'll start on the bench. So eyes on that one. Number 4, the thing I'm looking forward to seeing tonight, hopefully, is another solid performance from Thibaut Courtois. The boy's been in fantastic form this season. He's only conceded 23 goals so far in the league, and he's had 13 clean sheets. And when you compare that to City's keeper, Claudio Bravo, who's only had 4 clean sheets, that kind of tells its own story. Last year, for sure, if you were watching the Chelsea Fans Channel last year, you remember me and Rory, we had our moments with Courtois. There were times where we questioned his desire, we questioned his will to even be at the club, to be standing in nets, in the Chelsea shirt. But this season, I must say, I've completely warmed to him. Any of that frostiness I had in my heart towards him seems to have thawed away now. And it looks like, if rumours are to be believed, and I think he came out this week himself and said that, you know, he'd split up with his long-term girlfriend, and she was one of the reasons why there was all that speculation whether he would go back to Spain. I think now that they're officially not a couple anymore, you know, bad for his love life, but great for our football life, because it looks like Thibaut will be staying in London for a few more years to come. So I'm looking forward to seeing a really strong performance from him tonight. And you know, if we can nullify the goal threat of players like Aguero with a great performance from our keeper, then that's exactly what we need to do. The fifth thing to keep your eye on tonight is the tactical battle between the two managers. Now, in Kante and Guardiola, we've probably got two of the world's best managers. And, you know, Pep's been in the papers today. He's had a lot of nice things to say about Antonio Conte. He's sort of talking about him like he's a mentor figure. You know, he's saying that he's always learnt a lot from Conte as a manager. He always studies Conte's teams and picks things out of them that he can use himself. So it'll be really intriguing battle tonight to see how those two guys sort of measure up to each other. There's obviously a lot of respect between them, and but it's how, you know, their players perform on the day. So that's going to be an interesting one to look at. Conte, you know, yes, we all know about the 3-4-3, you know, since we lost 3-0 to Arsenal. That was the turning point when he made the decision to change the formation up. And since then, you know, we went on that amazing unbeaten run, and we've never really looked back. But, you know, that doesn't mean to say that Conte is a sort of one-dimensional manager and that, you know, a 3-4-3 is the only sort of thing that he can do. You know, we have seen already this season that he's not afraid to mix it up. If things aren't going well, whether it's, you know, a result or whether it's an injury against us, you know, he's not rigidly sticking to that formation. He does have that flexibility, and it'll be interesting to see tonight whether he sticks with the 3-4-3 that's sort of shown him so well over the course of the season so far, or whether he feels like he'll need to mix it up and change things. And if he feels that, I'm sure he will.